out of hand. From Nuh, it spread to Sona, from Sona to Faridabad's Ballabgarh, and from Faridabad, it spread to Gurugram. And by late night, a mosque in Gurugram was burned down, and the imam of the mosque was killed. Now, who is responsible for this communal violence in Haryana? And is the BJP raising the communal heat before 2024 elections? And the larger question beyond all this is that is BJP trying to deflect attention from Manipur through this communal violence? I'm joined by a very special panel. Let me introduce all of them to you one by one. We have Anil Tyagi. He's a senior journalist. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Anil Tyagi has a very keen eye on Haryana politics, and he's also traveling across the country to about more than 400 parliamentary constituencies before 2024 elections, I'm told. Thank you so much, Anil Tyagi, for joining. We have Javed Ansari, senior journalist and editor. Thank you so much. Pushpraj Deshpande, who is the director of Samrid Bharat Foundation and editor Penguin India series. Thank you so much, Pushpraj. And we have Pradeep Bes, who is BJP leader, joining us from Delhi. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for joining. And let me begin with Anil Tyagi today. What we are seeing, Mr. Tyagi, in Haryana, who do you think is responsible and why has this incident taken place? Yes.
See, it appears as the informations are coming, the state government was aware about the whole story. And the DC and the intelligence forces told the deputy commissioner, say around weeks ago, that if we permit the Bridge Mandal Yatra, there will be the tension and there may be riots and there may be the clashes there. And the DC told the government that we should not permit the Bridge Mandal Yatra. And but still, they said no, Bridge Mandal Yatra will go. So the first question is, who permitted in the government politically to carry on the Bridge Mandal Yatra? Number one. Why the government overruled the deputy commissioner report? Number three, why the intelligence inputs were ignored? Number four, when you have the two officers at the loggerhead, I am not naming the officers posted in the this region. Why the police officers who are at loggerheads have been posted there particularly, and why the issue was not sorted out? Why you are bringing right now, Narendra Vijrania, who is the SP Bhiwani, and he was earlier posted at Nuh. He was very good. He is a very good officer. He told me, I met him last month in the month of June in Bhiwani when I was touring the Bhiwani district. He told me Nuh is a very, very peaceful area. And the boys particularly are very disciplined. Only thing is that they have to be managed. You have to keep on community meetings. And he told me very specifically, I'm quoting him right now, that anything which happens in the Nuh area always happens with the outside forces. That is the scenario. And who is ignoring the Nuh particularly? If you see, Nuh has got around 17 schools and 1,500 children. There is zero single teacher there in the Nuh. There is no hospital. If you see the constables and other people who have been injured, they have been shifted to Vedanta Hospital. Can you see the plight of the district? There are no schools, there are no hospitals, there are no social infrastructure. What you are doing with that? And particularly, as per the Niti Aayog, that district is the most backward district, which has to be taken care of after out of 151 districts of the 740 districts. That is one of the only one district in Haryana, which has to be nurtured very carefully and very methodically. But you have made it a hub for the communal violence. I am saying again and again, till the 11 March 2024, till the elections are not there, announced there, the things will heat up. That is the motive of the certain forces. Who are the forces? Everybody knows in this world. I am not naming. Right. And everybody is worried about it.
Right.
So this is a planned, structured violence to create the fear among the masses and to see and to let the people know. See, we are the people and our might is right, and you will see the more things to happen.
Right. So you clearly are saying that it has happened because of a well-calibrated strategy by the forces in the administration. Javed, if I may come to you, what do you feel could be the reason why all of a sudden after Manipur, the entire focus is on Haryana? Yes, Javed, can you hear me? Javed, can you hear me? I think Javed is not getting my audio. Okay, so let me come to Pushparaj and then I'll come to Pradeep. Pradeep, you have to switch on your camera. Your camera is off right now. Yes, Pushparaj. Why do you think suddenly after Manipur, the focus is on Haryana?
So, can you hear me, Niluji?
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, first, let me begin by expressing my heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims in Haryana and the Mumbai-Jaipur train. Secondly, let us understand the anatomy of hate that is engulfing India. It is not organic. It is systematically manufactured. It is designed to pit Hindus against Muslims, OBCs against Dalits, Bharat against India. I mean, this classic divided emperor tactic has been refashioned for new India. Cultural, ideological, and communitarian justifications have been overlaid to legitimize all kinds of atrocities. But at the core of it, the agenda is purely electoral. Think about the communal disturbances that have happened in the last few years. They have happened largely in opposition ruled states just before elections, and that too in areas where there is a high probability of the BJP losing seats. Let me explain this more carefully. Recently, there were large-scale disturbances in Western Maharashtra. That is to make up for the seats they'll be losing in Vidarbha. In 2013, the same thing happened in Muzaffarnagar. In 2018, it happened in Bihar. In 2020, it happened in Delhi. Recently, just last year, it happened in Karnataka. It also happened in West Bengal before that. And now it's happening in Rajasthan and Haryana, just on the eve of their elections. Surely this isn't a coincidence. The problem is much deeper. The problem also is that this kind of politics doesn't just tear the nation's social fabric. It is also severely straining the people's confidence in the government's ability to govern on one hand, and also their intentions. Are they communal? Are they actually divisive? Are they actually for a certain section of community? So on and so forth. And lastly, it also disrupts investor confidence. The challenge for progressive forces, including progressive parties, is to combat communalism, hate, and xenophobia in a structural manner. Unfortunately, today, symbolic tweets, a press conference, a panel discussion, a petition, a dharna, or a speech doesn't change the status quo. These tactics might have been tried, but they're very tired. They do not shape the BJP. The BJP is completely unhinged from constitutional and institutional values. More importantly, at least from my point of view, these tactics do nothing to protect the next victim of terrorism, and in fact, state-sponsored terrorism. So we need to stop outsourcing our responsibilities to government. It is critical for us to reimagine and recalibrate our operational methodology to tackle this hate where it matters. And I'll come back to that when you've done a round of discussion.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So now can I come to Pradeep? Pradeep, who do you think is
I'm in a TV
responsible?
studio. Can you
And
please
is
slow
BJP
down?
trying to raise the
I'll call
commitment
you,
before
or
2024
I'll come tomorrow.
election?
Can't meet you.
Yes, Pradeep.
So I will do it tomorrow.
Audio. I'm not getting your
Okay.
audio, Pradeep. I'm not getting your audio. Can you check the audio, please?
Yeah. Are you
Yes.
getting?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
First, you repeat the question once again, because while you were asking the question, I was very attentive to hear it. But some gentleman was there on the show and he was talking over the phone, so his voice overlapped. Can you repeat your question once again?
What I'm saying is that is BJP trying to raise the communal temperature before 2024 elections?
Absolutely no. It is with everybody who doesn't support the ideology, specifically for BJP, not in relation with the current situation, what has just happened in Nu and we are talking about it. Absolutely no. Had there was a question yesterday asked that what Yogi ji gave the comment and it was talk of the town yesterday. Maybe the question was recorded earlier and broadcasted yesterday. That can be a different point of discussion, but I don't agree with the allegations that BJP is trying to, raise the bill and play a communal card. Absolutely no.
I'm saying, was it a coincidence? Yogi Adityanath gives an interview to ANI that's broadcast on the same day. Then you have an incident on the Jaipur Mumbai Express where the RPF constable, he kills 3 people. And then again, he brings in Yogi and Modi both. What is this kind of a mindset? Why is this hatred spreading so much? That was the question. Yogi is raked in, Modi is raked in. These are just not one-off incidents. This is like, it's like a chain reaction which is happening.
It was not like, let me, answer you one by one. It was not for the first time that somebody, from the armed forces or paramilitary forces or from police has displayed such manner. This is not for the first time. And it is very sad that what has happened in the train, and particularly had there been a there was one non-Muslim guy. Thankfully, I should not be thankful that this has happened, but out of 4, there was one senior officer. And what made that person go crazy? He might be, we need a huge change. And I don't know why opposition is not trying to bring such a talk on such issues, which are, hampering our growth for a very long time. Nobody bothers to talk, the reforms in the police, Indian police forces or paramilitary forces. So that was absolutely a coincidence. That can happen anywhere. I'm aware of certain incidents which has happened in the past, and only police and their interdepartmental such.
No, but do you have answers, Pradeep? Do you have answers as to why this incident from Nuh spread to Sona, from Sona to Ballabgarh, from Ballabgarh to Gurugram? Why was a mosque burned down, an imam killed? Will all this not happen under a planned strategy? It will happen sporadically, you are saying.
You're free to ask and you are free to think so, but I don't agree with the fact that this has happened with a planned strategy.
No, you might not agree, but will BJP administration not own up to the responsibility that there is a complete breakdown of law and order?
Absolutely, government is responsible for the law and order. But when a thing is planned in a certain way, which is absolutely well, implemented, there were people, procession was going on there, and the yatra was going smooth. But all of a sudden, how come people, plan to have enough of stones at their rooftop to put it on the mob? When they started pelting stone on the people, those who are going, I think you must have seen the pictures where the mob has started first and started
punish those stone pelters, na? Punish those stone pelters. Did you punish? Did you arrest the stone pelters?
In coming days, they will be. This is also not new. Stone pelting is not new. On the way where, these yatris or the Kalash Yatra or the Kanwad go, this is not new. It's been practice of past. So what do you say? That was the planned one? Absolutely no, that was not a plan.
Let me get in Anil Tyagi on this. Anil Tyagi has a complete report on what exactly happened in Mewat. Anil, you would like to respond to Pradeep, what he says? He says...
You see, Pradeep is a political spokesperson, and I don't want to go argue with him, because he has to say what he had to say and what has been prompted him to say. So that is his version. I don't want to argue with him. Let's talk logically. BJP, as per my reports in traveling around, say around 13, 14 districts in last 2 months, BJP is wiped out as far as the coming elections are going to be there. And if you see, there is a just patch-up work has to be done. They are thinking that the Gurgaon, which is a very prized constituency, and Faridabad, which is a very prized constituency, because both constituencies are money-minting constituencies, and there the Muslim population is suddenly increasing in Gurgaon because they are laborers, and they want to just intimidate them that if you not behave or are not in a disciplined way, we will teach you a lesson. I tell you, I don't want to see. Everybody is laughing in the country. Everybody knows who has done it. Why to name it? The people who are ruling this country, and if they cannot control the situation, whom do they want to blame? They want to blame the Muslims and the minorities. You see what is happening in Manipur. I have told them on other channels, Manipur is a design. They will keep the Manipur on the hot seat, and they are planning to send the forces to around 3 to 4 lakh in Manipur. They will create a warlike situation. after the Ram Mandir temple inaugural, the next target will be the Manipur. They will create a warlike situation, and they may go to the China side, the South China side, because South Manipur is just attached to the China border. And there will be nobody to cross-check how far they have gone or whether they have not gone. All lies will be spread. That is the design which I see and I foresee, and the people are telling me my sources are.
Are you saying, Mr. Tyagi, that Haryana, what has happened in Haryana is just one chapter of the larger of the larger design of BJP?
Definitely. That is a larger design. That is a trap. See, you see what is happening in the parliament. Every day there are important legislations are being passed, even without a discussion, and the opposition is sitting outside. The opposition is also trapped. They have a wonderful design just to trap and just blur the vision of the people. That is happening, and everybody knows this is happening. People are saying, I was in Bhiwani, and the villagers were saying, now particularly the Jats, I was asking them, they are just dividing the Jats among Jats, and they will create a scenario. They said people have come to know now there will not be any fight between the Jats, among the Jats. Now, same thing. Whatever they know, they are internally. I was telling somebody there was an English news channel whose editor has resigned, and just before resigning, there was a survey, and survey was showing the BJP say around 210 to 220 seats, but they insisted they showed it to the 300 seats, and that bugger has resigned. That our friend, he said, no, I can't stand with it. I can't go with the all complete lies. If you have the seats of 220, you can increase to 5 seats or 10 seats, but not 100. And he is saying, see, this is the scenario. They are just every day telling lies, big lies, and they have just messed up the NU. NU had never been like this, and they are creating havoc. The people of this country has to understand that this kind of a scenario will perpetuate, and people will be trapped. And this scenario, every citizen of this country has to be aware about the situation.
Pradeep, I want a response from you now. Pradeep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I just want you to respond to what Mr. Tyagi has said. Yes, go ahead, please.
As he in the beginning, he said he don't want to argue with me. I agree on him. He's a free citizen. He can't decide or not to decide to chat on the same matter. But I would like to know if Mr. Tyagi is so smart in gathering the data. Do we have any data available for the last 9 years, wherein which big communal rights happened in past 9 years? Now, he collected all sorts of data, and I agree to a certain point to his data that he's talking quite professional. But koi ek dange ka naam bata dijiye na, in last 9 years where we have faced a big calamity. Who started on the very first note? In the very first place, who started this?
No, what is a big danga according to you? What is a big danga? No, tell me, please, Pradeep, what is a big danga according to you? Is big danga something like Godhra you are saying? Is big danga something like Delhi riots you are saying? And these small incidents don't matter to BJP, and we don't call them communal violence?
To make it very simple, there are no bomb blasts. There are no equal, I think you...
Bomb blast is totally different from communal violence. Why are you getting confused, Mr. Bais?
1989 to the year 2013. What was the definition given to those communal rights? Were they small or the big danga?
Okay. Now let me come to Pushpraj. Pushpraj, how do you counter this hate agenda, especially when it comes to the opposition parties? Apart from condemnation, apart from taking part in the panel discussions, what will the opposition parties do when you see a complete play out of a hatred agenda, which is almost becoming like a weapon with BJP? They are going to mount this weapon for their 2024 battle as well. How will the progressive parties or the secular parties, if I may call, how are they really going to counter it?
Niluji, think about what has happened in the last 9 years. There has been an escalating campaign to brainwash hearts and minds of our fellow Indians. Think about it. Senior leaders from the BJP have said, Guli maro salon ko, Kabristan Shamshan Ghat, terrorists can be recognized by their clothes, influencers, so-called influencers, have dog whistled against senior intellectuals while extolling Hitler. The media has been vitiating the atmosphere. Films, books, and comic books have sown hate against Muslims and Dalits. Armies have been unleashed against religious and ideological minorities. Fake sansas and processions communalize the polity. Who is doing all of this? Does anyone here or in the country have a doubt about who is engineering this entire campaign of hate? And does this not poison and brainwash our fellow Indians? Of course it does. Of course it does. But as I was saying earlier, we do not have the luxury of falling back to old tactics to defeat these organized hates. The reason we can't is because organized hate is consciously being backed by the state at the state level and at the union level. So we need to structurally combat it. We need to stop outsourcing our responsibilities to the government alone. That old system that, the government is secular, the government is dharmnirpeksh, and the government is going to take everyone along and do his job properly. That situation is long gone. We've crossed the Rubicon. The point is, we are now going to have to completely change our tactics. We are also going to have to play on the front foot here. We're going to have to keep making films to shape hearts and minds. We're going to have to engineering books that are propagating liberal, secular, democratic values to socialize people to a wider ethic. We are going to have to also coalesce and what's the word I'm looking for? Align with civil society to basically create a Shanti Sena of sorts, like Gandhiji had envisaged, to combat regressive organizations on the ground.
Next question, Pradeep, what I want to ask you is that no matter how much Narendra Modi may talk about Vikas Yatra, you keep talking about the development. Prime Minister just said that, India will be amongst the top 3 economies of the world if he comes back to power in 2024. Now, if you were so assured of your development agenda, why parallelly run this communal agenda? What is the need for it?
Maybe it is your version, Neelu, that you are saying it's the communal agenda. The gentleman spoke before me, looks quite, smart and understanding that what was stopping him to spread and convince the voters in 1990 to understand it. I mean, nobody's buying your,
I was 3 years old in 1990, so I couldn't possibly have done that. So, I really can't respond to that. It's a hypothetical thought experiment. 3 साल में मैं क्या करूँगा? 1990 में मैं बच्चा था. आप लोग थे उस टाइम, आप लोगों ने जो किया, आप उसका जिम्मेदारी आप पे क्यों डाल रहे हैं?
Yes,
29. Sir, 2019. It's been 9 years.
So 2019 also, who says that we were not doing it?
2019 में आपने क्या ऐसा नहीं किया जिसके कारण से आपके प्रोग्रेसिव और जो सेक्युलर फोर्सेस है वो गवर्नमेंट में आ नहीं सकती? What was the reason for that? I mean, people are not buying.
The issue is not. नहीं, one thing. This whataboutism is not going to work. नहीं. आप कुछ दो मुद्दों को confuse कर रहे हैं.
Nobody is buying your ideology of secular and progressive.
Pradeep, just hear him out. What he's saying? No. You are answering all the questions with the whataboutery, which is just not justified at this point of time. Please answer what Pushparaj is saying. Yes.
Can you repeat the question once again? The voice.
I'm saying that you are getting into a whataboutery, which is not justified. There is a grave incident which has happened and you are trying to justify it with a whataboutery.
I'm not justifying. I condemn it. It's a very sad state of affairs. But why can't we go and do a RCA, root cause analysis? Who started it?
No, you might condemn it, but you will not stop it. You will condemn, but you will not stop.
Neelu, in this debate, the core question is, who is instrumental in creating a fear psychosis and killing the people in India? India is now a global country. People are watching across the world. Can you believe it? I'll quote the Home Minister, the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh says that अगर उस समय हमने LOC पार नहीं किया, तो इसका मतलब यह नहीं कि हम LOC पार नहीं कर सकते.
Yes.
हम LOC पार कर सकते थे.
Should not take back our part, which has been occupied by
पार कर सकते थे. जरूरत पड़ी तो भविष्य में भी LOC पार करेंगे. मैं दोहरा रहा हूं, हम LOC पार कर सकते हैं, करेंगे. And same day, Ajit Doval, our internal security advisor, says that we have a trust deficit with China. Read the 2 statements. Read the 3rd statement of the Gyan Vyapi. 4th incident, observe is the no. These all 4 things are happening in the sequence,
Right.
It is not in isolation. It is a complete design.
Right.
NOC can be LAC tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Because NOC is in Pakistan. LAC is on Manipur. Can you believe it? When
Right.
the defense minister of the country is saying, we will not hesitate to cross what? With whom? Where? So it's a future design, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a future
Absolutely.
design. You don't analyze the NU. NU is a small district. NU is why the mine mafia is so daring there. They killed the DSP long back. And they are saying that they people created the they may be involved. I'm not giving damn about it. But why they defy the intelligence sources? Why they defy the advice of the DC? Why they defy the advice of the Southern Police Commissioner? Why? Then who ordered it? And then you are claiming that it is not designed by us. He may say anything to the. I disagree with him completely. That is a design being planned everywhere in the district. And now you will see in the more days to come, it will be more and more. Small towns, small districts.
Right.
They keep engaging the people and the masses in India, and that the religious violence is going to be perpetuated by these forces, and everybody knows who are the forces.
But what you're saying, Mr. Tyagi, is quite disturbing, and that brings me to the question.
I am also disturbed, Nilu,
No, of
as
course,
a citizen of this country. Can you believe it?
Of course. And I'm going to ask that question of Pushparaj now. That Pushparaj, in 2019, we saw there was a Pulwama. Now, are we going to see some kind of a repeat of what we saw in 2019? Because if small NUs will be created, like what we have seen in Mewat's NU, and if there are incidents, if incidents like these are replicated across the country in smaller pockets, then obviously there will be a civil war kind of a situation. And is the government then capable of mounting a bigger offensive, maybe on Pakistan or on China, or what Mr. Tyagi is just hinting at? Are you expecting that could be a possibility for 2024?
I don't want to speculate on what the BJP and the Prime Minister will do. That's up to them. All I can tell you is that in 2014, the narrative, the meta narrative for the BJP was Vikas, development, Achhe Din. From then, in 2019, the Pradeep ji from the BJP said that 2019, why didn't anything happen? As you rightly pointed out, I don't want to speculate or go into the rabbit hole of what Satyapal Malik, the governor appointed by the BJP, said about Pulwama. But the entire narrative, meta-narrative was about Rashtravad, about national security in 2019.
Pradeep ji, I just assist you. Satyapal Malik has today pointed out at the news clip, and the clip has been disclosed and released by the Congress Party website on the YouTube and on the website also, where the Satyapal Malik has alleged that there may be a big leader murder and there may be a bomb blast. It is very scary. And please carry on.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
So the narrative shifted from Vikas to Rashtravad, and that also, I mean, I'm not going to comment on Satyapal Malik ji's allegations, but you know what they are. We know what that situation hints at. Now in 2024, there is no Vikas, there is no national security because China has taken away 2,000 square kilometers of our land, which Pradeep ji and the BJP have nothing to say about. Manipur is Manipur. One thing, let me finish. Manipur, Punjab, everything is in instability. Jammu Kashmir it's been repressed to a point where it's complete throttling of the entire state. But now the only thing, as you rightly pointed out, I don't know what they will do, to what extent they will go, but the only thing that they're going to rely on is hard communalism. And I actually disagree with you about the civil war argument, because civil war kind of situation will only arise when one party attacks the other party and the other party reciprocates. So far, no secular force has responded to the violence with violence. We have only responded with satyagrahas. We have only responded with constitutional methods. The fact is that this is an unprecedented, one-sided attack on one sided.
I'll come to you, Pradeep. I'll come to you. Let him finish. Let him finish, please. Let him finish. Yes.
This is a one-sided attack on the constitutional idea of India. Please be very clear. This is about India's soul, constitutional soul. We are not responding with the kind of violence, hate, xenophobia, or racism or patriarchy that the BJP is resorting to vitiate and communalize and polarize the atmosphere. We're not doing that. The challenge is that it's easier for hate to spread. than for love to win. That's why I keep coming back to the fact that we need to be disruptive. We need to be innovative in our tactics and go back to what Gandhiji taught us. Mahatma Gandhi taught us that we need to confront and hopefully shame the aggressor into having a Atma Parivartan. I don't know if the BJP will be able to ever have a Atma Parivartan given how insidious and cynical they are, but we should at least try to resort to those tactics. That's my point.
Right. So Pradeep, towards the end, I'm coming for the last comment to you that you have really, I mean, you means BJP has run out of all options. You know that your Vikas Yatra has not worked. You know that your nationalism has not worked. Your sub-nationalism also is not working. So the only tried and tested method which BJP has is to stoke the communal embers and try and create a disruption in the country. And that's where you will say that, look, Modi ji is there to protect the country. Is that what the agenda you have in your mind?
I think you're quite senior in the publication business. I would like to tell you something, 20 years down the line back, 15 years down the line back, how many publishers were there and the content which was produced for the masses, who controlled it? Now the progressive and secular forces of the country are nowhere in relevance. Whatever content has been produced is now truth. I can say on a very serious note, on a very responsible person,
I'll come to you
that the content which was produced 15, 20 years back was fully censored. Now what is happening in reality. I just saw on the TV while I'm watching your program, there is another guy, and who is also provocatively, telling the speech in the same manner what the other party has said. Now, the person who is starting this all will not be safe. And whatever allegations you have made on me as a BJP worker or as a nationalist, I don't buy it, and I don't. You are free to allegate, but I'm not going to buy it, and I'm not going to agree to what you have just said. Now, the content publication is very important. What masses are reading and what they are understanding and how they are convinced, it's beyond the control of certain forces.
Listen, I'm going to come to you with a very important question now. All the things which we are seeing in Haryana right now is because of one man over there, and that is Monu Manesar. His video got viral. He sparked all the violence in the country. Pradeep, I hope you're listening to me. I'm asking you the last question, and then I'll go for the last word to Mr. Tyagi, that when will Monu Manesar be arrested? Will you arrest Monu Manesar? Yes. Mr. Pradeep, can you hear me?
Whosoever is the culprit, irrespective of Monu Manesar or Jahid, whosoever the person is, will not be spared. They are already on search and they are already on run. Nobody is going to be spared by the rule of law. Kindly be assured that nothing is called lethargic or nothing carelessness. No carelessness will be taken in this particular case. This is going to cost very dear to my country, and we are not going to leave it. Take my word.
Nilu, this is a complete film script, The Chief Minister says no culprit will be spared and we have to maintain the peace. But I am saying through your program, the India has to decide who believes in the constitution and the democracy, and who believes in the anti-democracy, and who do not believe in the constitution. That division and that war has to take place, and people have to decide between the constitution and the democracy, anti-constitution and anti-democracy. This war will go on. People have to be educated, This malice will kill the people, I am telling you. And they will perpetuate this till 2024, and they will not stop.
Right. Yes. My signal got weakened. Yes, Pradeep, I wanted to hear from you. What about Monu Manesar? When are you going to arrest him? Yes.
Not only Monu Manesar, but Jahid will also be arrested. Maybe next 24 hours, maybe next 36 hours, but whosoever has started will not be spared. Please count. Why you are only focusing Monu Manesar? Okay. Why not taking name of the other party who started pelting soul? Were your resources not strong enough to bring somebody from that community as well?
So you are saying that if I take the name of Monu Manesar, then the others are also equally involved. That's what you're saying. And that's how you're justifying the violence. What has happened?
I'm not justifying what has happened.
You're getting into a blame game. You're getting into a blame game.
No. Do you know I mean, okay, I buy the fact of Mr. Jack what he said that there was already an intent, but who started the pelting stone? Who was that? Why don't you know their name?
So if the stone pelting happened in Nuh, but who went and burned down the mosque in Gurugram? Who was responsible for that? I'll come to you, Pushpraj. I'll come to you.
Are you not aware of the people, those who are taken hostage for 4 hours? Some almost more than 1,000 people on the temple, they took shelter in the temple to save their life. Are you not aware of that?
Right. So it's like an equal and opposite reaction. That's what you're saying, right?
It has to happen.
Okay. That's brazen enough an answer. Yes, Pushpraj. I have nothing more to ask you then. Yes, Pushpraj, go ahead, please.
See, when you look at the history of communalism in India, communalists, whether it's from Hindu communalists or Muslim communalists, they always tend to pat each other's back and work with each other. If you remember, the Hindu Mahasabha aligned with the Muslim League in the Northwest frontier provinces and West Bengal to tackle, to basically during Quit India movement, and they actually attacked the freedom struggle, saying that this is not really nationalist. We have to align with the British. The same thing they do right now. The communalists within the BJP align with the communalists, Islamic and fundamentalists and others to basically continue their politics. And let us also not forget, they are saying that ye to bahar se ho raha hai, but actually they also have a Muslim morcha. What is stopping the BJP to engineer their own riots? They've done this many times where people have dressed up. You remember that lady where she dressed up as a Muslim, and when she dressed up in a burqa and put up bombs and so on and so forth. The BJP and these other regressive organizations they've done this. This is that classic toolkit where they create both the supply and the demand for communalism, and then they fool the rest of the country into thinking that actually
Pradeep, please. I'm running short of time. I have to end the program. Pradeep, I have to end the program. Pradeep, I have to. Pradeep. Yes, Mr. Tyagi. Okay, Mr. Tyagi is saying something. Yes, go ahead, sir.
2013 National Investigative Agency's report should be disclosed to the nation, where there were allegations on the RSS frontal office bearers that they were in contact with the ISI forces, and it was alleged that somebody has taken the 125 crore rupees. They were supposed to be arrested at that time. These things are, their design one cannot understand. The document is with the NIA. I have a definite information. The government Home Ministry should disclose that information. Who was in that trap? Why the 125 crore was taken from the ISI? And everybody knew at the government. And there are the certain things which have been written in certain books. I do not have the book right now. Otherwise, I can send you the link also of that book where it has been written about it. And then now the Home Minister has to disclose that. And Pradeep must be knowing very well where I am indicating, to whom I am indicating, and to be precisely, I'll tell you, I am indicating more.
But unfortunately,
the leader is from Haryana.
Right. Mr. Tyagi, I'm running short of time, but I know for sure that Pradeep would have understood whom you are hinting at. But whatever has happened in Haryana certainly is very, very unfortunate. And it does look like some kind of a larger design. And Nuh is just a small chapter of that design, if I may say. We'll wait for the viewers' feedback. Thank you so much, Mr. Tyagi, Pushpraj Deshpande, Pradeep Best for joining. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this panel discussion, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
Thank you.